Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm Cullen, and this is the Time Machine Diaries. This is the podcast where we don't just skim the surface of history. We tear that shit apart, light it on fire, and dance around the flames. Today, we're diving headfirst into the story of vaccines. Where they came from, why they matter, and why we are somehow still arguing about them in the year 2025. Let me keep it 100 from the jump. I'm fucking fed up. Measles cases are exploding across 22 US states right now. Measles. That's a disease we had basically wiped the hell out decades ago. And why the fuck is it back? Because people are choosing not to vaccinate their kids. And if that's not the most reckless, brain-melting horseshit I've ever seen, I don't know what is. If you like the show, hit that follow. If you don't like the show, hit that follow. If you know someone that might like the show, share it. Before vaccines, the world was hell. We're talking smallpox, measles, polio, cholera, and a plethora of diseases. These were diseases that didn't just kill you. They made your final days look like scenes from a fucking horror movie. Children with smallpox weren't just sick. They were swollen, blistered, blinded. Mothers would weep as their kids suffocated. Polio paralyzed toddlers in hours. Whole families vanished in days from the plague. It was fucking chaos. And it was constant. So when someone, anyone, came along with a cure or a prevention, people listened. But they didn't always like what they heard.
This is bullshit. I'm not getting a vaccine. Fuck you, you ain't stabbing my kid.
Let's talk about Edward Jenner. It's the 1790s in England, and this dude starts paying attention to milkmaids. Why? Milkmaids had big, dumbass booties.
Nah, I'm just bullshitting.
Because they get cowpox. Ugly, but harmless. And they don't get smallpox afterward. So Jenner takes pus, slices a kid's arm open, and rubs it in. Not a test tube, not a lab, just bare knuckle, old school mad science. Then he exposes that same kid to full-blown smallpox. I'm just wondering about this kid's parents that were like, yeah, go ahead, cut my kid, and then purposely try and infect him with smallpox. It must have been an orphan. But anyway, the kid lives. And boom, we have the first vaccine. But it wasn't that simple. Church leaders screamed about animal-human abominations.
This is an abomination. How could you do this? I want to get a vaccine.
Political pamphlets warned about people turning into cows. It sounds absurd now, but back then, people were fucking terrified. Some of those fears were justified. Early vaccines weren't sterile. They spread other diseases. It was risky and often forced. Now, enter the 1800s. Governments, realizing vaccines work, start mandating them. England's Vaccination Act of 1853 made it illegal to skip vaccinating your kid. No consent, no opt-out, just do it or face a fine or jail. So the people fought back. I mean, seriously, burning effigies of Jenner, rioting in Leicester, forming groups like the Anti-Vaccination League. Working class folks didn't trust the elites jabbing their kids. And why should they? Their bodies had always been the testing ground. It was never just about the science. It was about class, power, control.
We are coming for you.
Holy shit. Did you hear that? I ran across these dudes the last time I jumped through time, man. Fuck, I gotta wrap this up. Because vaccines have been used violently as tools of empire. In the 20th century, colonial governments used vaccines to control and pacify local populations. In Africa, India, and the Philippines, indigenous people were often forcibly vaccinated, used in unethical trials, or denied medicine unless they submitted. Take the case of the Philippines under the United States. American soldiers held down Filipino civilians and jabbed them with cholera vaccines that weren't fully tested. When people resisted, they were beaten or arrested. Public health became a weapon of occupation. Let's fast forward. The 1950s. Polio was everywhere. Parents were terrified. Kids were in iron lungs, paralyzed for life. Enter Jonas Salk. His polio vaccine was tested, released, and hailed as a miracle. The US celebrated. People wept in the streets. It worked. But not every story was so clean. In 1955, the Cutter incident saw thousands of kids injected with live polio virus due to a manufacturing screw-up. Hundreds were paralyzed. Several died. Trust was shattered. The same era saw black communities in the American South used for unethical testing. The Tuskegee syphilis study may not have involved vaccines, but it poisoned trust for generations. That distrust is still alive and well today. Vaccines kept advancing. MMR, HPV, hepatitis, COVID, each came with breakthroughs and backlash. During COVID-19, the old ghosts came back. Mistrust, protests, fear. Except now, it was fucking turbocharged by social media, conspiracy theorists, political polarization, and pharmaceutical greed. People weren't just hesitant, They were furious. Protests raged across the world. Politicians fumbled public health messages. And Big Pharma? They cashed the fuck in, raking in billions while people died. There's a fucking reason people question the system. Vaccines save lives. But the system that makes them, sells them, and enforces them is often corrupt as fuck. Vaccines are one of humanity's greatest scientific achievements. They've prevented millions of deaths. But they've also been wrapped up in power struggles, racism, elitism, and greed. That's the uncomfortable truth. Science is beautiful, but it's made by people. And people are messy as hell. By the 1970s and 80s, vaccines weren't just scientific achievements. They were billion-dollar enterprises. And that meant two things: mass production and lawsuits. In 1986, the U.S. passed the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act, creating a government-run compensation program for those harmed by vaccines, because pharmaceutical companies were getting sued out the ass. They threatened to stop making vaccines altogether. So the government stepped in to shield them. Because, you know, public health or whatever bullshit. At the same time, anti-vaccine sentiment started bubbling up hard. A now debunked paper by Andrew Wakefield in 1998 falsely linked the MMR vaccine to autism. That study was retracted. Wakefield lost his license. And yet the damage was done. A lie had gone viral before TikTok. And then the internet of the day made sure it spread faster than any disease ever could. Then came 2020. COVID-19 tore across the world like a wildfire made of fear, grief, and misinformation. Scientists pulled off what was once unthinkable: developing vaccines in under a year using mRNA technology. It was hailed as a scientific miracle, but also sparked one of the most divisive global debates in modern history. The vaccine debate was no longer just about science. It was about identity, control, politics, and trust, or the lack thereof. People wondered, how could it happen so fast? What's mRNA anyway? Why did companies get immunity from lawsuits while frontline workers died? These weren't irrational questions. They were rooted in real historical betrayals, like the Tuskegee syphilis study, forced sterilizations, generations of medical racism, and profiteering had created a breeding ground for skepticism. So here we are. Vaccines have saved hundreds of millions of lives. Smallpox is gone. Polio is almost extinct. Rabies, tetanus, measles, diphtheria, we think they're tamed. And yet, the resistance remains. Not because people are stupid, but because history has trained many of us not to trust too easily. We now live in a world where a vaccine is both a triumph and a trigger. It's a symbol of progress and a magnet for conspiracy. It's complicated, and that's what makes this whole saga so fucking human. What's next? More personalized vaccines? mRNA cures for cancer? Global vaccine passports? Or even more rage, rebellion, and resistance? Time will tell. Stay skeptical. Stay curious. Never stop digging. This has been the Time Machine Diaries. I'm Cullen. See you next time. We're not done tearing history apart. Hey, this artist is Ollie Joseph. Go give him a follow. The song fucking slaps.
Yeah, and I just hit the bucks. Whoa. Espresso, but it's triple shot. I don't sweeten it. Y'all getting slapped on cause you sleeping in on God. Aside from me, I don't believe in shit. I'm done fucking, but she telling me to leave it in. Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Set up shot to kill them off, whatever to take, pal. Seen the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals, I could give a fuck who try and get along. 6'3", you can't look me in the eyes, you ain't grown. Coming on shore, reevaluate your goals. What you own, so you still lease beats. I got splits with all the bros, making sure the team eats. And I had a full ton the whole time, that's a whole grind. Gave myself the credit, bought it to me with no cosign. I don't need a loan, I'm on 10, I'm my own dime. Y'all got no control, the type to sign away your whole life still. In the mud to my neck, I love a spy day. I still lift the world's weight, shoulder showing all game. Still on one, I'm my off days. Still prefer some color skin over the bronze spray. Looking cool as fuck as I walk away. Get the job done, I'm James Bond and LeBron James. This is not a cosplay, swear I'm living real life. And every time I don't write's when it feels right. They see the win streak, damn that shit is long-winded. I don't see you at the top, you cannot visit. Or the Dave's hot chicken at a crib with some goth bitches. Get me on any beat, you know I'm going off with it. And when my time comes and that shit'll come, know I'm ready. Always hit what I aim for, bitch, I hold it steady. I feel for anybody tryna step in the way of this. I handle shit by any means, you know that's just the way it is. And when my time comes and that shit'll come, know I'm ready. Always hit what I aim for, bitch, I hold it steady. I feel for anybody tryna step in the way of this. I handle shit by any means, you know that's just the way it is.